and thank you to ASSOCHAM and the Ministry of Ayush and Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga for holding this series. I think it's a great service to the country, to the world, and to the youth for doing this. The topic is to move the youth towards the path of yoga, to prepare them for tomorrow, and no better way than yoga. Pujya Swami Chidanand Ji has said many beautiful things, but I'm going to add on to them. I will try and create a bit of a curiosity and give you some technical points so that you would want to study the Shastras and you would want to follow this path. Yoga comes from the word yujya, which means union. Yoga is not just about asanas, be very clear about that. Ashtanga Yoga. What is Ashtanga Yoga? Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyana, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of yoga. So asana and pranayam are just 2 limbs of this 8-limbed path. Yam, truthfulness, non-violence. Niyam, scriptural study, reading the scriptures. Contentment, no greed, moving on a spiritual path. Asana, a दृढ़ state of consciousness. योगी जब आसन पर, योग आसन पर आरूढ़ होता है, उसे आसन कहते हैं. It's not just a certain pose. Asan. Pranayam, the expanding of the life force. Pranayam here is not just a breathing exercise, it is the expanding of the life force, the vital life force of the body. And I will talk a bit about pranayam here. Pranayam has the capacity to evolve the consciousness. Pranayam has the capacity to alter your consciousness, to alter your mental state of being. Don't think of prana as just some breathing exercise. Of course, Anulom Vilom, Bhastrika, Kapalbhati, Bhramari, Pranayam, Ujjayi, the breath of Ujjayi. These are all technical aspects, and they can alter your mind, your mental state. Pranayam can alter your mental state. Remember that. Pranayam. There are 5 pranas in the body, not just one. So when we think of it as a very clinical, technical point, we look at it as, okay, we are breathing in some air, exhaling some air, retaining some air. Well, that is not it. Pranayam has a far wider meaning to it. There are 5 pranas in the body, responsible for blood circulation, responsible for assimilation of nutrients in the body, excretion, downward movement. When you eliminate from the body, you have something called apana. For digestion, you have something called samana. Blood circulation all over the body, you have something called vyana. And prana. And a higher spiritual force called udyana. You would have heard of the 3 bandhas, Jalandhra, Mool and Udyan Bandha. These will activate the plexuses, certain plexus, and activate the nadis there and move prana upward, urdhva mukhi. The meaning of yoga is a relationship between the individual self and the cosmic reality. And in the individual, pranayam and yoga will help you realize your full potential. If the youth of today realize their full potential, then India will regain its lost glory and will rise and shine, because we, the individuals of this country, would have risen to our full potential. coming back to prana, I will quote something from a very ancient text called the Bajrang Samhita. The Bajrang Samhita and many other texts talk about upapranas as well, not just about these pranas, 5 pranas that I've told you about. The upapranas have a lot of spiritual significance. Nag, Kurma, Krikal, Dhananjay, Devdutt, these are upranas. So remember, when you're doing pranayama, all of this is getting activated. All of this is getting activated. The Bajrang Samhita gives a sutra. It says the Dhananjay Pran, when it is combined with the Nag Pran, the Shakti moves directly to the Brahma Chakra. It becomes powerful and moves upwards towards the Brahma Chakra. And that is the reason for it provides spiritual emancipation and is the reason for moksha. So remember, pranayama is not just breathing. It is far more evolved, far more evolved than just plain breathing exercises. Reading the scriptures will aid in this process, because Niyam, the second part of Ashtanga Yoga, Niyam, talks about studying, scriptural studying. If you look at the Gita, it is said the Vedas are absorbed in the Upanishads, and the essence of the Upanishads is the Gita. Gita can be divided into 4 parts. Gita is the best treatise you could read on yoga. It is not about asana here. It is about the relationship between the individual soul and the cosmic soul, of Arjuna and Krishna, of Guru Kesha with Rishikesha. Gita can be divided into Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. In Gita too, the Lord says to Arjuna, you cannot see my creation with these eyes. Let me give you divine vision. In the 11th chapter of Vishwa Roop Darshan Yoga, Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. Behold my divine yoga, Krishna says to Arjuna. So remember, yoga is not just about asana or about pranayama. Yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, the 5th aspect of yoga, which is really the withdrawal of the senses. If you don't withdraw your senses from the outer material world, then you will not be able to move your faculties inward. And that is the first point, the first important point of yoga. The Patanjali Yoga Sutras, 1.2, just the second verse of that from chapter 1. It says, Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. The agitation of the mind has to be settled. There has to be restraint in the mental process. Tad drashtu swarupam avasthanam. Only then will the faculties move inwards and one will be able to witness one's own true self. So remember, yoga is a holistic study, a far more detailed study than just asana and pranayama. And in pranayama too, because of the vital life force, there are many aspects to this pranayama. There is a prana that is involved in blinking. Even that activity is being caused by a certain prana. Kurma, when you yawn, there is a prana involved in that as well, called Devdutt. Dhananjay Pran is active in the body even when when the soul leaves the body. Dhananjay Pran is active in the body and leads to the eventual decaying of the body. So understanding the vital life force is a far more detailed process, not just a breathing exercise. The body is made up of 5 koshas: Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya, and the Kosh of Satta Chitta Ananda, Anandamaya Kosh. The Pranamaya Kosh is the second kosha. Pranayama will affect it. And when the second kosha is affected, the physical, Annamaya Kosh will also get affected. And the manomai, the emotional body, will also get affected. You're anxious and the breathing becomes rapid. You feel my heart is palpitating. Breathe normally. Even if you don't know the technical aspects of pranayama, just breathe, breathe. Take the Lord's name and breathe. Prana has the power to affect the state of the mind. The yogis talk about something called the Khechari Mudra. When you roll your tongue upwards and press the palate, Khechari Mudra can calm the system, can move apana upwards. The downward force of prana can be moved upwards with Khechari. Khechari is a very powerful mudra. Mudra, asan, ahar are three other pillars that need to be looked at within the practice of yoga. Because to achieve an expertise, and I'm using the word expertise here, one has to be careful of what one eats. You're doing asanas, but you're eating food which has been refrigerated, which is 2 days old, which is pungent, which is very sour. Your prana will disbalance. There will be a disbalance in the prana. If there is a disbalance in the prana, there is a disbalance in your mental activity. There is a disbalance in your mental activity. You will not be able to perform your karma with viveka, with discrimination. That will not be possible. So remember, ahar is important. When we do sadhana, any tamsik ahar will not lead us to the right path, because we will be involved in the material consciousness. If we are involved in material consciousness, yogic consciousness will become an impossibility. One has to move from material consciousness to a yogic consciousness, and yoga is an application for that. Like you have an application on the mobile phone, yoga is an application which will reveal your own. It's a process of revealing your own divine self to you. आप खुद का ही साक्षात्कार करेंगे योग के साथ. And I don't think there could be anything more beautiful than that. अपना साक्षात्कार करना योग के द्वारा. Realize your full potential through yoga. In ancient times, rishis used to do homa or yajna, and the akash tattva was cleansed. Individuals used to breathe in that air, and the vital force of the body, prana of the body, used to get majorly activated. People could do sadhana at Brahma Muhurta, get up in the morning and do sadhana. You cannot have a materialistic life and then follow this path, because there has to be abstinence. There has to be a certain discipline. If we are involved in a very in a lifestyle where we want to acquire, we want to be greedy, we want to look good all the time, be greedy and acquire, then that will not lead us to a yogic lifestyle. Remember that. So while you might be doing asanas, you might be doing pranas, remember, righteousness is important for yoga. Righteousness. And with righteousness comes the duty that if this body made of the Panch Tattvas has to work holistically for prana to rise, then the tattvas outside of the body, the same tattvas, Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash, they have to be cleansed as well. We cannot keep on throwing plastic, because dharti use jazb nahi kar payegi. We cannot pollute our water bodies. What we pollute, the next tattva will automatically get polluted. And if you have the 5 tattvas in the cosmos or in this planet, if they are polluted, then within this body we cannot have bhuta shuddhi. Remember that, it's a very important point. Bhuta shuddhi of the Panch Tattvas in the body. we want to say, okay, this is the Rashtra, the human body is a Rashtra, we are doing Bhuta Shuddhi. There are various many processes, Shat Karmas, and various other processes that lead to the elemental Shuddhi, the Panchabhuta Shuddhi. But while we do this, and our planet remains dirty, and the elements outside are polluted, the microcosm and the macrocosm draw parallel to each other. If the tattvas outside are polluted and you're breathing in that air, the bhuta within the body, within the microcosm, will be polluted as well. So it is not just our duty to cleanse or to keep the country clean or to work on the 5 tattvas. So therefore, Pujya Swami Chidananji, I think he said a very vital thing when he said that plant more trees, and about plastic as well, and about green yoga. If the Prakriti is in balance, there is harmony outside, believe me, there will be harmony inside. And if there is harmony inside, whatever be the situation, pandemics or no, we would be able to tide over all of it. With that, thank you. I hope everybody gained from it, and I'm happy to be here. It's a privilege. Namaskar.